Hello and welcome back aboard Narrowboat Gentian, currently moored at Springwood Haven Marina, but only for the next, 5 minutes or so, because I'm about to set out on the penultimate hop of my journey to bring the boat down to its final mooring destination. This weekend's plan is Springwood Haven to Brinklow Marina, so I'm going to do to Hawkesbury Junction today and then Hawkesbury to Brinklow tomorrow. It was supposed to be sunny today, so far overcast, blustery, certainly the odd spot of rain in the air. Tomorrow definitely, they say, the forecast is going to be rain, so it's going to be a bit of a miserable old journey, but not that long, about 3.5 hours today, 3.5 hours tomorrow, and the only lock to do is the one at Hawkesbury, which is a simple stop lock. It's only about a 6-inch rise or fall. It's where the two canals connect. Anyway, easy to do, just plod along and, barring any problems, obviously, hopefully there won't be any, just chug along the canal until I get to Hawkesbury. So, without further ado, what is ado anyway? But we don't want any more of it. Let's get going. There is a rule of inland marinas that says as soon as you set off, the wind will blow against you, and that was true here, a sideways push trying to take me off course heading for the narrow exit. The marina exits are so tight because in the event of a canal breach or maintenance work where the water needs to be drained, it's easy to slot wooden planks across the gap to keep water in the marina and thus the boats floating. Like the judges on Strictly, the ducks were going to give me marks out of 10 for the style and elegance of my turn. Parts of the Coventry Canal are very picturesque, and with several towns and villages along the route, it's a good place to live aboard, as you can cruise and stop in the countryside but still have easy access to supplies. But it was like a game of Frogger from the 1980s arcades on this trip, with a stream of logs drifting along the canal. Something is rattling down there. It's not the bathroom door. I don't think it's the cooker, but I can't work out what it is while I'm steering. There are so many things down here that rattle while the engine is on, you would not believe it. The carbon monoxide alarm has been rattling against the woodwork. This glass cover for the cooktop, that's been rattling away. I've been going around putting little sticky pads on everything, trying to silence all those really annoying little rattles. I've even put a sticky pad on this glass top already, and it's still rattling against the window, but I'm going to get every last one of them, I swear. One thing down here that most definitely does not rattle, but has been ticking away with metronomic precision, is my watch from Holzkern, and I've had this now for 2 years, wearing it on my wrist pretty much every single day, even while I'm on the boat shimmying up on lock ladders and doing all the boat stuff, and it has not missed a beat. I mentioned that because I've always promised I will only promote products and services for companies and goods that I like, and I like Holzkern and I like my watch. If you're not aware of Holzkern, they're an Austrian company that make a vast range, it is a truly huge range, of men's and women's watches and jewellery, and their products incorporate all kinds of natural materials like gemstones and forestry certified wood, even leaves and things like peacock feathers. The products are all made in very small batches, which you probably have to do, otherwise the peacocks will take umbrage. They offer free worldwide shipping, and if you are in the United States, they take care of any pesky customs matters as well, so you just order the product and it will turn up on your doorstep. I have ordered this rather nice watch for my sister for her Christmas present. I mean, she picked it out, but I ordered it And it turned up after only, I think, 2 or 3 days on my doorstep, no problems at all. They are currently having their biggest sale of the year with up to 30% off. And there's no special code to enter or anything. You just go to the website through my link. I'll put it on screen now. It's also in the video description and in the pinned comment. So just click through on that link and they're offering up to 30% discount. This sale runs only until December the 1st, so you have a limited amount of time to go and look. But bookmark the site anyway, because you never know when you're going to need a gift, and these really do make the perfect presents. The old telegraph pole here was part of the trunk route for cables between Coventry and Atherstone, according to the Telegraph Pole Appreciation Society. Yes, that's real. The link is in the video description, and good on them. It watches over the canal like a silent sentry. Adieu, mon ami. It was logs earlier, but Frogger has taken an entirely different turn now, with what appears to be an inflatable lilo in the canal. I did try to scoop this out as I went past, but somehow it evaded me and I almost crashed the boat into the bank, so I gave up and carried on. It looks unusual, but according to Google Maps, this is a bridge to a recycling centre. You'd not think anything could drive over that though, would you? The arcade game continued with another log floating by. And the graffiti indicates we're coming towards so-called civilization. Welcome to Nuneaton, which is actually quite green and pleasant from the canal. Warning signs are no good if they're obscured. This one's readable, but I'd like to see them try. As regular viewers know, I applaud the efforts some people make to enjoy their canal. Look at all that decking. Sadly, others are less appreciative and dump their crap on the towpath. It was Sunday morning, so the football aficionados were out practicing. We are definitely in the urban environment now. Alright, quiz time. Is that a real heron standing very still or a plastic one? It's plastic. Now, what about the penguins? Being in town, Frogger now throws domestic junk my way. I used to have a net for cleaning this stuff up. I must get another one. And of course we now find what Nuneaton is famous for: allotments. For my overseas viewers, these are small gardens, usually for growing vegetables, rented from the council. And for some reason, Nuneaton has thousands of them. I swear there are more allotments than people. The cluster of double-moored boats meant I was approaching a wharf. Careful steering needed here. You can see the water's a bit shallow. That boat's sitting on the silt, I think, despite being so far out. It made this quite a tight manoeuvre, akin to threading a needle. Allotments. This bridge has something of the aura of the Horsley Ironworks about it. We'll come back to them in a future video. Coming along here, a man was gesturing me for me to get over to the far side. For a moment, my hackles were raised. I'll go where I want, I thought. But he explained. This was coming, a deep-drafted working boat being towed and helped along by another through the shallow bits, another sign of the low water levels. Another boat was ahead of me, so I took it slowly as I went past, you guessed it, more allotments. This was filmed in July, when the extreme and prolonged summer heat had really started to affect water levels on the canals. All the wind was probably exacerbating evaporation too. I was approaching the junction with the Ashby Canal, where there's a long stretch of popular mooring. The other boat was still ahead, and I didn't want to catch them up, so I continued at Tickover. There's the Ashby Canal. It's notoriously shallow even when it's full, so goodness knows how passable it was at that time. I continued past, still heading south on the Coventry Canal. Sometimes liveaboard boaters have little tenders to do errands in. It saves having to move the whole boat. And when you're moored for a couple of weeks, you want to be comfortable, but I've never seen anyone put captain's chairs out on the towpath. Ahead is Charity Dock, a well-known landmark and a rather unusual place, shall we say. You see? Anyway, moving on, and I discovered that I was not just following another boat, but was actually in a queue, all going at a snail's pace for reasons unknown. I wasn't quite at Tickover, but not far off. Fancy having your own secret steps down from your house to the canal? We were going so unusually slowly that I considered stopping, but this bit of the Coventry Canal is like the North Oxford, lined with sloping stone which isn't practical to tie up to. And as I gazed rearwards, I saw a boat was now catching me up. A tree was partly down ahead, but nothing so as to cause a problem.
I'm now within a mile of Hawkesbury Junction, so really I could stop anywhere along here, the first place I spot that seems nice. I don't necessarily need to go through the junction, the little lock there today. I can do that in the morning. If it's all busy, I will go through the lock. But the first place I spot, I think I will stop there.
Of course, inevitably, I ignored my own plan as soon as the first spot, here, came into view, and continued in the belief that there would be another space even nearer the junction just waiting for me. But seeing the end of a line of moored boats sent my brain into frenzy. Was this a line that went all the way to Hawkesbury? And if so, should I join the end here? Or take the wild risk of there being a gap I could get into further along? What to do? Oh look, there's a perfect gap there on the end. Of course I didn't take that. I went on, and at this point was almost at the junction. Finally, I made my brain calm down and pulled in here. This would do very well for one night. In the morning, I'd go under that bridge at the end and turn left onto the North Oxford Canal. Cheerio. And don't forget to click my link holskern.com/cruising to save up to 30% site-wide in their biggest sale of the year until December the 1st.